3 key takeaways from the Mavericks blowout home loss to the Kings. A season on the brink? The Dallas Mavericks suffered a humiliating 122-98 defeat at the hands of the Sacramento Kings on Monday night. But let's be honest, no one left the American Airlines Center talking about the final score. Instead, the night will be remembered for something far more concerning: the sheer devastation of injuries that struck the Mavericks like an unforgiving storm. The night started with high hopes, but within minutes, those hopes were dashed. Kyrie Irving, the dynamic playmaker and spiritual leader of this team, went down in the first quarter with what appeared to be a brutal knee injury. In a display of sheer determination, he sank 2 free throws before being helped off the court. If that wasn't enough, 2 quarters later, Jaden Hardy collapsed to the floor after rolling his right ankle, for the 3rd time this season. With both stars sidelined, the Mavericks found themselves adrift, unable to keep up with the surging Kings. But what does this mean for the team moving forward? Let's break it down. 1. A season from hell. Have the Mavericks become the NBA's unluckiest team? Mavericks fans have endured tough times before, but this season is testing their patience like never before. Just 9 months ago, this team was competing in the NBA Finals. Fast forward to today, and the roster looks nothing like the championship contender they once were. Consider this. Fan favorite Derrick Jones Jr. was let go in free agency. Luka Doncic, the heart and soul of the franchise, was shockingly traded away for minimal return in a move that stunned the entire basketball world. The supposed centerpiece of that trade, Anthony Davis, played just 3 quarters in his Mavericks debut before suffering a serious injury. Promising big man Derek Lively too fractured his ankle. Defensive anchor Daniel Gafford sprained his MCL. Now, Kyrie Irving and Jaden Hardy are the latest casualties in what feels like an endless cycle of setbacks. And yet, despite this catastrophe, the Mavericks are still increasing season ticket prices by an average of 8% next year. One has to wonder, at what point does bad luck turn into bad management? 2. Kai Jones, an unexpected silver lining? In a game filled with despair, one player stood out as a potential bright spot: Kai Jones. The former first-round pick, who signed with the Mavericks just in time for Monday's game, wasted no time making an impact. Jones put up a career-high 21 points, shattering his previous best of 12. He was incredibly efficient, going 9 of 10 from the field, and he pulled down 9 rebounds. With Lively and Gafford out, Dallas desperately needed someone who could bring energy to the paint, and Jones delivered. His vertical presence provided something this team has sorely missed: a legitimate lob threat. Time and time again, Mavericks guards tossed alley-oops his way, and he finished with authority. So here's the question: could Jones actually carve out a permanent rotation role in Dallas? He's currently on a 2-way contract, but with the Mavericks roster stretched thin, it's hard to see how they can afford to keep him sidelined. This could be his moment to prove he belongs in the NBA long term. 3. The Jaden Hardy injury killed any hope of a comeback. Even after Kyrie went down, the Mavericks managed to hang tough, trailing by just 10 points at halftime. But when Jaden Hardy left the game, everything unraveled. In the 8:30 minutes that followed Hardy's exit, the Kings outscored Dallas 26-12. Any remaining fight left in the Mavericks evaporated. The energy in the building collapsed. The game became a formality. This has been a theme for Dallas all season. Injuries happen to every team, but this level of attrition is unheard of. The Mavs have battled through adversity again and again, but at some point, you run out of bodies. Which begs the bigger question: is this season still salvageable? With Irving potentially out for an extended period and Hardy nursing yet another ankle sprain, Dallas is staring down the barrel of a lost season. Can they rally, or will this be the year that breaks them? Final thoughts: where do the Mavs go from here? With all these injuries and roster uncertainty, the Mavericks have reached a crossroads. Do they make an emergency move before the trade deadline? Do they push through the pain and hope for a miraculous recovery? Or is it time to accept the harsh reality that this season may not be their year? One thing is for certain: Mavericks fans deserve answers. We want to hear from you. What do you think Dallas should do next? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the state of the Mavs, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more expert analysis, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. This season may be brutal, but the conversation doesn't have to be. Let's talk hoops.